What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve.
I'm Lindsay.
Today we're going to be reacting to Queen Elizabeth II in her own words. I thought it was only fitting that this week, which is the week of the second anniversary of the Queen's death, I thought it made sense for Lindsay to finally check out the Queen. She knows nothing at all about Queen Elizabeth, has never seen anything at all about Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, no.
And it's been quite a while since I've learned anything about Queen Elizabeth as well. In fact, Queen Elizabeth died, I believe it was the second day after I started this channel. So my 2-year anniversary is coming up as well.
True. So it's like right almost the exact same time.
Yeah, and so
crazy.
I learned some stuff about the Queen at that time.
Right away.
Yeah, because like I was planning on it, and then she died, and I just thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and learn about her at that point, since that had just happened. For Lindsay, this will literally be the first time, I believe, that if you checked anything at all about the Queen.
I feel like you guys watching probably find it really hard to believe that I've never seen anything to do with the Queen, other than like, a news clip where she's walking with like President Trump or like, just something like that. But
yeah, only stuff towards the end of her life though, because it was only like maybe you saw her with Obama briefly or something like that.
But I've never even really heard her speak.
Right.
Like I've never even anything in the royal family, really, I've never had much exposure to. So she is obviously iconic. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I look at her now. From what I learned, honestly, briefly about the Queen, I almost look at it as like she was like the grandmother figure of the country.
I could see that.
And so it was a very hard thing for a lot of people. There are some people that absolutely love the royal family. Some people do not like the royal family. And so you're going to have people that, loved and disliked her. But for the most part, the majority of the country really, really loved her.
Was she the longest ruling monarch in English history?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Wow. Yeah. And so I think what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to obviously check out her in her own words today. I thought this would be kind of like an obituary, sort of, where we could kind of, just learn some things about her. Well,
a glimpse into her life.
Yeah, from I guess the perspective of herself, or in her own words. And then, well, obviously over the next couple of days, we're going to check out a few more videos about the Queen. And so
get more of a well-rounded picture of
yeah. So that's what we're going to do, guys. So I guess we'll just go ahead and quit rambling and jump in here and check out Queen Elizabeth II in her own words.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family, to which we all belong.
Wow. Sorry, I know it just started, but how young was she when she was crowned?
I believe she was 25. Her father died young. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I have this correct, it was originally her uncle, her dad's brother, that was supposed to be king. And I can't remember exactly what happened. We'll have to figure that out some other time. But for some reason, he either stepped down or I can't remember exactly.
She wasn't supposed to.
She wasn't technically the one in line, but once her dad actually became king, she now was the one in line.
Oh, okay. So the uncle thing happened before her dad died.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a way, I didn't have an apprenticeship. My father died much too young.
Yeah.
And so it was all a very sudden kind of taking on and making the best job you can. It's a question of accepting the fact that here you are and it's your fate.
And what a genuinely warm welcome she got everywhere she went.
1,000-mile round-the-world tour to the far-flung domains of the Commonwealth, the first made by a reigning monarch.
Germany's warm welcome to Her Majesty and Prince Philip, the first visit by a British monarch for over 50 years.
Another royal tour, this time to Ghana.
A lightning visit to northern France.
Another port of call, another official welcome ahead.
On to New Zealand, with a Maori choir singing a welcome.
I don't think you can stay in London all the time. You have to visit other parts of the country to either find out what's going on or try and encourage people in different areas, some of which have unemployment, some of which have new factories. And I think the possibility of meeting more people is very important.
Set in motion the nationwide celebrations of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth's Silver Jubilee. 25 eventful and glorious years.
Is a jubilee like the anniversary of their crowning? Because I've heard that term before.
Yeah, I believe it's because I didn't she have a 70? Did she have a 70th jubilee?
Like right before she died.
I don't know how often they had the jubilees.
Yeah,
but yeah, they had numerous ones. I'm not exactly sure what years they marked, but they were some sort of anniversary, if I'm not mistaken.
"1992 is not a year on which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure. In the words of one of my more sympathetic correspondents, it has turned out to be an annus horribilis."
3 of her married children all having marital difficulties in the space of a matter of months, and then a fire in Windsor Castle, somehow almost suggesting a kind of divine justice being meted out on the House of Windsor, quite literally the House of Windsor.
Whoa.
I sometimes wonder how future generations...
I haven't looked into that.
I didn't know that ever happened.
Yeah, I had heard about it. I haven't looked into it. To something I wanted to check out.
Ton of damage.
Like I think it gutted a lot of it.
Wow.
...will judge the events of this tumultuous year. There can be no doubt, of course, that criticism is good for people and institutions that are part of public life. No institution, city, monarchy, whatever, should expect to be free from the scrutiny of those who give it their loyalty and support, not to mention those who don't. But we are all part of the same fabric of our national society, and that scrutiny by one part of another can be just as effective if it is made with a touch of gentleness, good humor, and understanding.
This is BBC Television from London. Diana, Princess of Wales, has died after a car crash in Paris. The French government announced her death just before 5 o'clock this morning. In a statement, Buckingham Palace said, "The Queen and the Prince of Wales are deeply shocked and distressed by this terrible news. Normal programs have been suspended while we bring you the latest news and reaction." Diana, Princess of Wales, is dead.
Do you remember when that happened?
What year was it? 97?
I think it was 97.
I was really young, but I do remember seeing like the tabloids and the stores.
I remember
And I remember obviously on TV there was a ton of coverage about it.
Yeah.
And I think that was pretty much my extent of knowledge of the royal family.
Yeah, it
was her death and
the Princess Diana's
death.
death.
Princess Diana's death. And I do remember like even here people were very just shocked and sad.
Yeah,
and
I can remember that too. And, I obviously didn't know anything about the royal family. At that point, wasn't something I was obviously keeping up with or anything. But to this day, I still remember seeing William and Harry, like after their mom died. And just, it was just like the pictures you were seeing was just really powerful.
And then the Elton John song, do you remember that?
I think I do.
Like that he played for.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Now we go live to Buckingham Palace for a tribute from Her Majesty, the Queen.
What I say to you now, as your Queen and as a grandmother, I say from my heart. First, I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being. In good times and bad, she never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness.
Queen of Edinburgh coming out now.
The Golden Jubilee coincided with another difficult year for the Queen, because in 2002, both the Queen Mother and Princess Margaret died. So it was a difficult time in many ways for her.
Change has become a constant. Managing it has become an expanding discipline. The way we embrace it defines our future.
Well, just days after giving what has been described as a car crash interview on television, Prince Andrew on Wednesday, in a statement, said that he would be stepping down from royal duties for the foreseeable future.
So you've heard of Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in a lot of, like, I don't even without keeping up with the royal family, we do definitely hear about Andrew.
With the Epstein stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah, there's supposedly a lot of stuff going on. And then Prince Harry is the one that's also always in the media and stuff, because he I still don't,
Markle?
Yeah, I still don't know exactly what happened there, but I mean, you probably know he supposedly the king and his brother have basically
no contact.
Because
don't they live here in the U.S. now?
I think so, yeah. And supposedly he went on some sort of program and outed them for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I try not to keep in the loop.
Yeah, we don't do the gossip stuff.
We don't.
But you can't help but see it.
Bits and pieces
here and there, and you don't really understand exactly what's going on. You just get little puzzle pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, Oprah's interview with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Maybe that was it.
Accusations of racism at the heart of the royal family could represent an existential threat.
She seems so
to this
fake
ancient
to me.
institution.
A statement was
Meghan?
released on behalf of the Queen.
I don't know anything about her.
The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. Harry, Meghan and Archie will always be much loved family members.
While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavour. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
It is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty the Queen has announced the death of her beloved husband, His Royal Highness, the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh.
He is someone who doesn't take easily to compliments, but he has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years. And I and his whole family.
By the way, I can't remember how long they were together, but literally, I think 70 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah, long time.
And this and many other countries owe him a debt greater than he would ever claim, or we shall ever know. When I was 21, I pledged my life to the service of our people, and I asked for God's help to make good that vow. Although that vow was made in my salad days when I was green in judgment,
that's a good way to put it.
I do not regret nor retract one word of it.
Wow.
What'd you think?
It's almost like she grew up in front of the nation and with the nation.
I think she did.
I think that's really cool to have that experience as the people she was serving,
right.
I think I could see why she was the grandmother figure of
the
UK. It was really cool to get to see her actually speak and see more of her personality, because I've literally anything I've ever seen of her is just her walking or
and probably when she was really older too.
Right. So I never saw her in her youth or really heard her at length. So
what's the first impression based off of the little bit you got to see here from her talking when she was younger and talking when she's older? What's your impression about her personality.
Different than I thought. I expected her to be more standoffish in a way, and she seemed very warm and
yeah,
and almost like, obviously she's not just one of the people, but
yeah,
you know, that's what she seemed like. She wasn't putting herself at a distance, and she even, like, when she first was crowned, she went on the tour of like all the Commonwealth countries, and so that was the first time that had been done in maybe ever.
Yeah.
So I think that showed who she was as a person. You know, she wanted to extend an olive branch, so to speak.
That's what it seemed like.
I'm here for all of you, and that's what it seemed like. I know
first
very
impression.
little about her, really, but
yeah,
that was the first impression I got.
Yeah.
It does make me want to learn more about her and see more.
Well, you know, I find it so interesting because we literally here in the U.S., we don't have a way to understand what a death of a figure like the Queen is in the UK. We don't have any representation like that here because we have our presidents, but they have their prime minister, which is pretty similar. So we don't actually have any sort of figurehead that's like this.
Constant figurehead.
A constant.
Now, granted, she was one of the exceptions, though. Like, she was the longest.
Right.
Running. So up until that point, I don't think it had been quite the same.
But I've tried to put myself in the position of what that would look like here if we had a figure like that, head like that had been, you know, such a constant for literally over 70 years. Someone who's 80 years old.
Right.
You know, they wouldn't have even been 10 years old. They would have, their entire life would have seen this constant mother figure.
Yeah.
And just to lose that. I mean, so many, like, what's that? Probably 3-4 generations, maybe longer, maybe more. I mean, like the closest we have is the president, and that's not even close to what that looks like.
Yeah, that's not comparable.
Because we have presidents come and go every 4 to 8 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was interesting. It's the first time I've seen this video as well. I think that's it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey to discover anything and everything about the UK and Ireland. Till next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.